up to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
48-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to fit it in. Ramos, it does. Ramos stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wins. Incredible effort for Ramos.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. College football is back, baby, and we are excited to bring you G5 college football coverage that you love each and every week. I am Luke, and I am joined by my co-host, Justice.
What's going on, man? A lot to be excited for this week. We got to whet our college football appetite. We had some appetizers, if you will, 4 games yesterday. 3 of those involved G5 teams, and then this week we get a full buffet this week, baby. We got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as far as G5 games, and then we got other games I think on Sunday and Monday as well. So yeah, 4 days of college football. So yeah, full buffet, 4 smorgasbord.
All right, so yeah, this has been a exciting week. This week on Thursday, August 27th, we will hit our 1-year anniversary from our first ever show. It's been a fun and exciting year so far. That Worker Bee series is great to wrap up. It was a lot of work, but I think you guys all enjoyed it. We have been growing like crazy with followers on X and YouTube subscribers, and we are looking forward to seeing growth here in year 2. We are so very, very close to hitting 400 subscribers by week 1. We're currently sitting at 397. With that being said, if you are watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, a retweet. And if this is something you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. Now we've got our good old G5 versus G5 matchups. So here is our first one. Coastal Carolina at Jacksonville State, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. What you looking for, Justice?
Man, I'm kind of looking forward to Ethan Vasco, right? The Ethan Vasco era fully beginning there for Coastal Carolina. Excited to see if he can kind of start over where he left off in the 2023 season. He showed he can run the ball, last year. And so just kind of excited to kind of see his development here in year 2 in this offense. And then Jacksonville State, I'm just kind of interested to see how that quarterback situation plays out, right? I mean, last year we saw him rotate a lot. Finally, Zion Webb kind of took control there towards the end. Zion Webb is finally out of eligibility. And so it seems like it's going to be Logan Smothers, but they brought in Tyler Huff from Furman. They brought in Zion Turner from Connecticut. Tashawn Smoot's still there. Interested to kind of see how quarterback plays out. Are they going to rotate the quarterbacks? And then running back, right? They bring in Andrew Paul from Georgia. Ron Wiggins is still there. Anwar Lewis is still there. Very interested to see kind of how that workload shakes out. Is it a 3-headed monster, or is one guy kind of dominating the carries? And then the defense. Jacksonville State was an outstanding defense a year ago. One of the best defenses all the G5. They lost a lot. So kind of excited, very interested to see how that defense looks against another G5 opponent. And are they going to be as stout as they were again a year ago? I don't think they will be, but definitely interested in seeing how that defense looks for the Gamecocks.
My one thing that I would add to that is just that Coastal Carolina wide receiver room. Sounds like, usually there's always a wide receiver there that you want to have for fantasy purposes. I don't know if that is going to be the case this year. So yeah, we'll see what they have to offer in that room. Otherwise, it's Ethan Vasco running the ball a lot. It'll be the Ethan Vasco show. Game that I wanted to highlight here, Eastern Michigan versus UMass, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. mainly like out of all of the MAC teams, Eastern Michigan was one of those only teams that was really kind of playing like I would almost say like a like for like talent type. So I just kind of interested to see how Eastern Michigan looks. If you're not familiar, Eastern Michigan brings in a quarterback from Buffalo. I am forgetting his name.
Cole Schneider.
Mobile guy, Cole Schneider. He's so I'm just kind of interested to see how, is it the Cole Snyder show? Is there somebody from Eastern Michigan that we need to pay attention to? Probably not from a fantasy standpoint, but just can Eastern Michigan? They're going to have a good defense, I believe, and then you've got UMass going to be joining the MAC here before too long. So, how does this team look? I expect Eastern Michigan to win this, but I'm kind of interested to see what Snyder looks like. That is the main reason I am interested in this game.
Yeah.
Then we've got Boise State at Georgia Southern, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We get Malachi Nelson at quarterback. No, wait, we do not. He will not be starting there, but we'll see what the Boise State Fighting Ashton Genties look like against Georgia Southern. I expect him to tote the ball a lot. It's going to be hot, humid in Georgia Southern. We'll look at Cobb at wide receiver there. Any other guys that you're kind of excited to see in this game? I'm kind of excited to see the wide receiver pecking order there at Boise State. How often they do run to pass ratio, I am kind of interested in. Anything else that you want to highlight there?
Just the quarterback, how the quarterbacks play is at Georgia Southern. Who steps up there at wide receiver? I think we expect it to be Dalen Cobb. Just kind of seeing how that shakes out, the quarterback and the wide receiver room there for Georgia Southern, and then I don't know, like how Max Matson looks for Boise State. Those are kind of the big takeaways for me. Maybe Chris Marshall, Boise, right? How does Chris Marshall look?
Yep, and then we got Dallin Cobb and then Derwin Burgess still there. They had two wide receivers that they could support last year, so we'll see if they're able to do that again. Then a game, this honestly might be one of my favorite games. I got two games that I really, really want to watch. We will see if in Iowa I can watch these. But North Texas at South Alabama, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Again, we talked about North Texas and our thoughts around that quarterback play, how fast we should see them play. And then South Alabama with Gio Lopez getting the start. You got Voice in there, Pritchett. We will see how this team looks. I'm just interested. I've been hyping up South Alabama all year, so I'm just kind of excited to see how they look week one. This will be one of those games that could be a shootout here in North Texas versus South Alabama. Anything that you want to highlight?
No, I mean, like I said, the quarterback, Gio Lopez, Chandler Morris. Who steps up there at wide receiver for North Texas? Is it Damon Ward? Is it Landon Sides? Is it someone else like a Jeremiah Aaron? Oscar Hammond. Oscar Hammond. We heard a lot about him in camp, the tight end and the running back as well with Ragsdale, Zach Evans, and then there's a is it Jawan Price? I don't remember. There's a third guy that transferred into, but yeah, kind of excited to see that North Texas offense, and then South Alabama with receivers, Devin Vosen. How does he look? He, by all accounts, when we interviewed him, he's 100% healthy. Kind of excited to see how him and how the targets shake out between him and Jamal Pritchett.
All right, and then a game that I'm excited about, of course, everybody's excited about, Stony Brook versus Marshall, Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Honestly, the only thing that I really want to see here is what this Marshall offense looks like. I would expect there to be some growing pains at the beginning, but then they're playing Stony Brook, so I should be able to see them execute what they want to do is what I would like to think I should be able to see. What are we going to see? Are we going to see the air raid dumped off to the running backs a lot more? Behind the line of scrimmage, in front of the line of scrimmage, how far? How exactly is that air raid system working? When we talked to Thundering Herd, they said maybe this hybrid type system with that. So that's what I mainly want to see is just how the running backs get involved, are not involved, and just how this offense works. And like I said, against Stony Brook, I would expect there to be growing pains in the beginning, but then by the end of the game, second half, I feel like there should be some execution stuff going on.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm looking forward to seeing how the receiver room shakes out. Right, you got Elijah Metcalf. They brought in a ton of transfers. Christian Fitzpatrick, Chuck Montgomery's still there. Someone that was highlighted during our interview. They they brought in someone from Carolina. Was it Andre Green? Oh man, I can't. Or oh gosh, names escaping me. They brought in a transfer from Carolina, and a transfer from Ole Miss, whose names escaping me as well. But yeah, just kind of excited to see how that wide receiver room shakes out there for the Thundering Herd, particularly if they're going to go full bore on that run and shoot.
Was it Christian Fitzpatrick, or is that
Fitzpatrick came from Michigan State.
okay?
I don't remember the Carolina kid's name or the I want to say, is it Braylon Brown? I think maybe the one that came from Ole Miss. But the kid from Carolina is it Tyshawn Chapman? I think that's who it is, Tyshawn Chapman. But yeah, just excited to kind of see how that wide receiver room shakes out there for the Thundering Herd.
And then this is probably my favorite game that I'm really excited for. Sam Houston at Rice, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Rice, we've talked about him all off season. Dang near about the whole offense coming back, the whole team coming back. I think they, two guys bring back 20 of 22 offensive starters from 2023. You bring EJ Warner in from Temple to lead that offense from a running back room. You've got Dean Connors out of the backfield. You've got a nice wide receiver core. You got Groden there from tight end, and then you got Sam Houston. What does Sam Houston look like? Their over-under was set at like 4.5. I think they're in the championship game and then the American Conference.
This game to me should be sponsored by the G5 Hive, because it's two teams that I think we are higher on than just about everybody else. Sam Houston and Rice. Super excited to see the Sam Houston quarterback situation. Is it Jace Bauer? Is it Hunter Watson? Who's it going to be? Are they both going to play? How do they look? How does Quavez Humphreys look for that receiving room for Sam Houston? I think a lot of people are really high on Noah Smith, and for good reason. But man, when we talked to Ben over there at the Cat Fund on our Worker Bee series, he was super excited about Quavez Humphreys. And he pretty much said, Quavez Humphreys is going to be the man. And so I'm just really excited to kind of see how he looks for the Bearcats and how that quarterback situation, shakes out. And like you said, Rice, the team we're also super high on, EJ Warner, Dean Connors, Bowden Groen. Probably the thing I'm most likely or looking forward to finding out with Rice is there a wide receiver that kind of steps up? Is it Rawson McNeil? Is it Landon Ransom? Who's it going to be? Or do those targets, do Dean Connors and Bowden Groen see an increase in targets because there really isn't that true wide receiver one?
Yeah, and then with Sam Houston, no matter who the quarterback is, I don't know if it's going to be settled yet. I am anticipating that we'll get Jace Bauer week 1. I'm trying to remember who they play week 2. I think it's UCF week 2, and then Hawaii week.
So they're playing Hawaii in week 3. And so that quarterback situation may take some time to kind of shake out there for Sam Houston. But yeah, this is definitely I think this, to me, I'm going to call this the G5 Hive special, the G5 Hive game of the week, Sam Houston versus Rice. If we had the money to sponsor it, we would certainly sponsor this game. It's G5 Hive written all over it.
Hunter Watson. Sorry, I got interrupted by my daughter. Hunter Watson, I think, will end up being the quarterback for the season long. Just when will he take over? That's my 2 cents. And I'm kind of curious if we see Jace Bauer start. Rice is a good team. They're a really good team. And, maybe he struggles a little bit. And then you get UCF, goes out there, maybe he struggles a little bit again. And then Hawaii, I think there's going to be enough balls thrown around the yard. Time of possession won't matter. Maybe that's where he gets his shot if it is not week 1. Then we move over to Nevada at Troy, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. What are you looking forward to, Justice?
How will Nevada look again? They look as good against Troy as they did against SMU. Can Brendan Lewis kind of maintain that performance that we saw against SMU? Cortez Braham, how he looks, and then going over to Troy, right? Troy's been a really strong team in the Sun Belt, but new coaching staff, new quarterback there with Goose Crowder. Kind of excited to see Goose Crowder. I think he's going to be better than folks are giving him credit for. Zariah Beeson there at wide receiver. They also got Devontae Ross coming from Ohio, so kind of excited to see how that wide receiver room shakes out, and then the running back room, right? I mean, with Damian Taylor and others, is there going to be a workhorse back? Is it going to be a true committee? Great. Just looking forward to seeing Troy, and like Brett said, it very could well be a letdown situation for Nevada. They played with a lot of energy yesterday in that game against SMU. Should have won the game, I think. And can they sustain that? Can they pick themselves back up and sustain that level of energy against Troy? We'll see.
All right, and then James Madison at Charlotte, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We've got James Madison with a whole new team. I'm excited about that coaching staff. You bring in Dylan Morris. You've got George Pettaway in from North Carolina. You've got Ayo Adai. And then just kind of what that team looks like. You got a couple wide receivers. I'm blanking on the names that are popping off. You got a true freshman there looking pretty good.
Dylan Williams. Cameron Ross
looking good. And then from Charlotte, we're hearing that there might not be running the ball near as much. We might see Max Brown throw the ball a little bit more. Another freshman that popped off that we probably need to know about is Isaiah Myers there for Charlotte. So those are the names that I'm kind of looking out for. I really want to see how this James Madison team looks. Offensive line-wise, they bring a lot of guys back. I think 4 of their 5 offensive linemen, maybe all 5, I believe 4 or 5. I believe that they are just going to run the ball, throw the ball a little bit, but I'm kind of high on James Madison. A lot of turnover, but I think this team will be pretty good here. Anything that you want to talk about here, Justice?
Yeah, I'd echo those sentiments. Kind of excited to see how JMU looks. Kind of, excited to see Charlotte and Max Brown. How the running back situation looks there at for the 49ers. Is Cartavius Norton going to be the man? Is he going to command the bulk of the carries? Is it going to be a shared workload situation? Those are kind of the things I'm most looking for in that game.
All right, and the last game that we want to highlight, Mountain West, Sacramento State at San Jose State, Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We get our first look at the new Craig Stutzman spread and shred offense for San Jose State. You got Floyd Chalk there at running back. Still don't know who the quarterback is but we got to figure out that. So there's a lot of things of, hey, what does this San Jose State team look like? Sacramento State historically been a pretty good offensive team. What do you think, Justice? What are you looking forward to?
Who the quarterback is. They got to rotate all 3 of them. How that quarterback looks. Is he targeting a single receiver? Is it Nick Nash? Is it Justin Lockhart? Is it somebody else? That running back situation. I think folks have been really high on Floyd Chalk, but by all accounts, it's kind of a 1A, 1B situation with Floyd Chalk and Jabari Bates. And they're saying Jabari Bates is kind of like the 1A, whereas Chalk's the 1B. I do expect, if it is truly a split backfield, I expect Chalk to kind of be that goal line guy. He's much bigger than Jabari Bates. I think he would kind of get the goal line nod. As Brett points out in the chat, I am a little bit concerned about that quarterback situation. Prior to coming out of the spring, it was a two-man race. Emmett Brown, Walker Eggett. They bring in Xavier Ward, and he's made this a three-man competition. Talked about it last week. To me, that's not a good sign, right? Xavier Ward has been in college for 3 years. He's played at 2 other schools, never really done anything. Doesn't mean he can't do something, but it just doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy feeling, and give me a lot of confidence about that San Jose State quarterback situation heading into the 2024 season. So, just really kind of excited to kind of see how that plays out, and if we get competent quarterback play, who's kind of stepping up there at wide receiver.
All right, that does it for our rundown. Wow, we are excited for week 1. We love your comments through Twitter, through YouTube, because Justice and I, we're the top, we're the pretty faces that you guys are hearing. Yeah. That's what it is. But honestly, your guys' comments help make the show. You guys are just just as much a part of the show as we are. We got 117 people watching us on X live. We want these comments. We want to interact. We want you guys to feel like you're just as much of the show as we are. But we want, come back and join us next week as we discuss what's happened in week 1, as well as look forward to week 2 of the 2024 season, and as well bring you up to date with all of the latest news and all the happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, like, and a follow. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.